take a look at another comparison contrast since we're still down here underneath. We'll take a standard arm lock. I believe it's called paintbrush arm lock in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Let's have you on your back, Corey, your head facing towards the camera, please. See, Corey gets all the fun stuff. He gets to tap and be thrown down all the time. All right. Now, standardly, whenever we see this paintbrush arm lock, I think we've all seen this. And again, I'm going to keep saying it, probably belaboring the point. Whenever I show the Jiu-Jitsu version, I'm not going to go into great detail because at this point we're assuming that this is a system you're somewhat familiar with. We're just trying to make sure you're able to do some comparison shopping. The standard lock you're going to see gripping the hand. I mean the wrist, not the hand. You're going to see coming underneath and then figure fouring or T-wrapping on your own hand. You can see keep the elbows in tight, and you're seeing people keep their weight directly on top of the individual while they're in this top saddle mount position. And the way you finish this lock, the reason it's called paintbrush, you're supposed to envision his hand as a paintbrush. You're actually painting down the mat. And how you tap them with this particular lock while you're painting down the mat is you're dragging down until the slat goes out, and you're raising it, lifting up on their elbow until you find
Tap.
tap. It works. There it is. That's fine. Now here's where we find some structural difficulties with this particular lock. One, there's a way to do this where you don't have to do any movement whatsoever. You do not have to drag this guy down the mat. And two, got a major problem with this particular setup. We're sitting directly on top of someone because, again, if we know that his hips is his power base, as your hips are your own power base, so the job is always to have your hips driving through someone. That is what you're trying to do offensively all the time. Defensively, you should be always trying to get their hips away from you. So with me sitting directly on top of him doing this lock, there's no way for me to create a hip drive here. And so if he decides to bridge at this particular point, he's going to get rid of me or start creating some space and making it more difficult for me to ride him at this particular time. So just by me applying this, even if I don't come all the way off, I'll start going to work on bucking and bridging. Already you see I'm going to have to work to start maintaining this. Go ahead, get rid of me. See, this is more work than I had in mind. I'm not just considering I was already starting from this position right here. So let's look. I'm going to start from the position again. When I say go ahead and go back to the bucking. Go ahead. See, I'm having to release the lock just so I can try and maintain my top top saddle position. So one way to remedy that is to get your hips off the side. But let's say, since we've already saw that I've lost my position off of this just because he decided to buck, let's take a look if he decides to apply his opposite hand in here. At the same time he's bucking, if he takes this hand and shoves hard in the back of my attacking tricep, same time he's bucking, take a look at what he gets. I'm way out of here. At this point, he can continue on with his momentum, probably come over and I might wrap him up in my guard or bottom scissors, but I've lost position when there was no need to. So again, let's take a look at how he countered that out. All he's doing here is he's putting his hips through the sky. And notice whenever he bridges, you stand up for a moment. It's not this shallow little bridge. It goes all the way up the sky. Go hit it and back down.